Hello, everyone, and welcome to Get More Clients. I'm your host, Lynn Whitbeck. Business owners and entrepreneurs hire me to ignite winning sales because most are chasing down leads, lack client retention, conversion, and profit. The mission of this show is to educate, inspire, and motivate women and men around the world to build a robust sales strategy to get more clients because many can't get more clients and haven't a clue why. You will learn to transform thinking to the client's perspective, eliminate the lengthy, chaotic sales cycle to ignite your sales, and unleash lasting profits. You'll also have an opportunity to connect with me further to see how I can support you beyond today. Now, last week on Get More Clients, I shared 7 tantalizing tidbits for client outreach and connectivity. Well, today, oh my gosh, I have a special guest. I am so excited. RJ Redden and I will be showing you why finding your unique elixir delivers a powerful business edge. Now, full disclosure, I am a huge RJ fan, have known RJ for many years, and I want to tell you a little bit about her. RJ's been coaching people about technology since 1998, and that's even before we worried about the year 2000 destroying all computers everywhere. Well, luckily that didn't happen. RJ also spent 5 months in a country where she didn't know the language, just so she could learn how to explain things more effectively to people. So that is so cool. Now, RJ loves teaching technology. It's like her best friend, and she has some of the most outstanding clients on the earth. I say some because I have to say some are mine. So RJ, welcome to the show. I'm so glad you're here today.
Thank you, Lynn. I have been looking forward to this all week. We are going to have a great time this half an hour.
We are, and better yet, this is the first of a 4-part series with RJ. So you guys stay tuned as you go through all 4 episodes to really drink in the magic that she is going to be providing. Because if you've ever heard the tales of the magic elixir that bestows great powers upon its possessor. Now, if you've ever heard these types of tales, well, what if we told you that such an elixir exists for your business? Yes, you can amplify your sales by discovering and leveraging your unique business strengths. And by the end of today's show, you will know why you are unique in your approach and style to help your clients, how you identify your special superpowers, why your unique elixir delivers a competitive edge, and how to use it. Identifying and utilizing your business's unique strengths, the elixir that gives you an edge over competitors, is often not explicitly acknowledged. However, it has the potential to drastically transform your trajectory. It's crucial for you to reveal and explore this hidden potential. And that's why we've got RJ here, because this is all about that special secret elixir. So RJ, I really want to kick this off with asking you, why is everyone unique in their approach and style when helping their clients?
Why is everyone unique? Why do we all have our personal style? I will say this, it's because we all have a unique learning style. And most of us kind of revert to a teaching style that is in concert with that learning style. There are a few people, most of them coaches, who know how to break out of their own learning style and approach communication with somebody else. Here's the thing, we all have a thumbprint. We all have a thumbprint. We all have a unique mix of experiences, good and bad. I do think more of my bad experiences inform how I teach than my good experiences. But we all have that unique learning style. And so we teach that way normally. And so how we approach our work, how we approach our life, and how we approach communicating with other people. Some people approach communication with other people in kind of a straightforward, some people like to tell a little story. Some people like, you know what I mean? So it doesn't matter what you're teaching about. Everyone has their own unique style. and their own unique ideas about how to approach and communicate with people.
Well, I mean, I like this take on the communication in the sense of learning and that connectivity of learning and teaching. But I think there's another level. I mean, look at you. You've got your goggles on. I mean, that's a unique style. And it's really projecting a unique approach to how you work with people. I wear my green kimono on every show, except for the one that I forgot. And it's once again, that's sort of showing that a little elements of our authentic self. And both of us, we actually are so confident that we can be our authentic self. And when we bring that, that is also adding to that special approach and style. At least, that's sort of my take when we're looking at how we show up.
Yes. I always say this: you have to bring your unique style because nothing else will do. Nothing else will do. Not pretending to be like somebody else that's maybe out there and famous, not pretending to be the person you think everybody can tolerate from you. Not any of those things are ever going to bring you your ideal clients. I just need to report that just now, disabuse you of any notion that anything else will work, because it won't. It won't. People have gotten so good in the last 3 years at spotting fakeness.
Yeah.
And even though you're not trying to be fake, even though you are trying to be, what you think you're supposed to be, it still doesn't work very well. You have to bring your unique self, and you have to do it in a way that is unafraid of what they will think, unafraid of what they will say, because that confidence is what brings folks in. It's what brings folks in and say, okay, I trust you. If I approached this meeting or any other with zero confidence, and I have in the past, trust me, those are meetings that people lose interest in pretty quickly, even faster these days. So the only reason you have to bring yourself is because nothing else will do.
Right. And that's where this knowing and understanding your own special elixir really comes into play. And so I think a common question that everyone's going to have is, well, how do I identify what my special power is? I mean, how do I figure this out? Especially if they're thinking, well, but, I'm pretty average. I mean, how would you figure that out? Where would you start?
I say, where do you geek out? Where do you just dive into something and can't wear enough garb, speak like that enough, think about it enough, join enough fan clubs? Where do you lose time when you're on the internet? Where is your world that you are creating right now? Where is that for you? I had the exact same scenario. A client approached me and she's like, I don't dress up. You know what I mean? And I'm like, it's okay. You don't need to. But what do you geek out about? And she started talking about something, and now she's built a whole world. She's a photographer. Her thing is time benders, because photography allows people to travel back and forth in time. She's got a whole brand, she's got a whole world, she's got a whole community created, she's got a course. I mean, it's everything. And now that's what she digs into when she is presenting and talking to folks. It's pretty amazing. But all it took was that one question. What do you geek out about?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a great way to get started. And I think another would be, like, what do you love? What do you love doing? What do you love sharing? What do you
Yes.
how do you love interaction? What does that look like? Because it can be different for different people.
Yeah.
I don't like loud party type things, or it's almost like I'm flinching.
Yeah.
I like more intimate, but it can still be a group, but just where it's not but it's a little bit, and it can be loud-ish, but it's like where we're really intellectually stimulating and having this great conversation that's going around and some laughing. And but when it gets too much like sort of a party boisterous atmosphere, that sort of turns me off. And it's literally like my whole person, like I said, I just sort of recoil from it. And so sort of looking at what are those things that you love, and what are the things that you don't like, and why is that? What's going on there? Like, I love that intellectual stimulation in the conversation, but also the lighthearted and being able to have fun with it. That's really something that attracts me. And so when you start to look at those things, and then if there's something you hate, well, why is it? Why don't you like that? Is it pushing you out of your comfort zone? What is it about that? And when you really spend some time for introspection, this is going to help you really recognize some traits or some things that are, and it's that unique packaging of all these different pieces that go together that makes you who you are.
Truly is. And there are lots of branding experiences that I can think about over the years that have been just like, find what's your you. What's your you? Because no matter what, and here's a thing that I call myself an unconventional attraction strategist. I am not here to tell you that you need to attract the masses. Darling, you don't. You don't need to do that. Because if you attract the masses, you're going to spend an awful lot of time sifting through to find the people that you need to find. And that, my friend, is wasted time.
Yeah.
All of that is wasted time. Mixing that unique elixir, knowing exactly who it is that really vibes with you. I want people that when they see my face or when they hear me speak or when they read something that I've written to sit up and go, how did she know what I was thinking? I wonder what else she knows, and where do I find her? That's what I want. I'm never gonna get that by being anyone else. I need to know, first of all, who's my me,
Yeah.
and then I need to know exactly who that audience is.
Absolutely. I think this is where also, the personality coding can also play a piece if you really understand your core personality code. If you're a catalyst, if you're an optimizer, if you're a relator, if you're an expert, this also plays a piece about who you are and how you lean into that. And no one is just one code, right? We're all four, but there's obviously, with all the four and how you could jumble them up, there's a lot of different possibilities, but you could have an aversion to a code, or you could have two codes that are very strong. And it's just knowing that also helps you understand a little bit more about your, unique traits, and then how that comes into being part of that special elixir, that competitive edge that you bring. And I think that, once again, speaking from myself, I mean, I have a pretty balanced code, but I still have that optimizer. I really love to organize and process and figure things out. I hate doing things twice. I'd rather figure it out, do the plan, and I also do the research. I'm an expert. I want to know that it makes sense. Like, I've done, I've checked it out. But I'm also that relator. I love to bring people in and help and nurture them. And so then finally you have that catalyst piece. Now that's to take action. So I do my plan, I do my research, I relate with the people that I've talked to, and then I take action. And so if you look at that and how that blends together, you can actually see how it blends into what I do, because it's sales strategy. I'm about, what's the plan? What do we need to know so that the plan is going to be really effective for us? Just like this conversation, what do I need to know about myself and about my unique approach and my unique style? And then I'm going to make those connections and take action. And so if we dive into that and understand ourselves, it really does help us to bring this forward in a way that makes those connections.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just what you brought up there, the core personality types. What I found out was that I'm a relator expert, and I love working with other relators. If you've got that high on your scale, come hang out with me. In fact, I designed products specifically for relators. Like, I know that for some reason, for me, that is absolutely my sweet spot in life. But yeah, having some kind of personality code in there, helping you categorize and figure out, well, what is it about relators? The thing that attracts me is that we are people who are out there to transform the world. We want to leave a legacy. We want to leave this place better than we found it. And we can't be employed by others. That's not a relator thing. That's a people thing. But I have a special brand of relators that I really, really resonate with. And the sharper my message is, the farther it goes. And that's just the way that it is. The more generic my message is, the more it falls on deaf ears. The more focused my message is, the more I know that exactly the words that I'm saying right now is going to make my people sit up and perk up and go, who is she? That's what works in marketing messages today.
Yeah. No, it is. And to your point, I mean, that's like why I always talk about where the intent. It's about actually truly desiring, genuinely wanting to help and serve others. And that's that really overwhelming relator part, right?
Mhm.
That just comes smack dab in your face. So, and I love what you said, knowing that and being able to connect with those people, that is about getting that unique elixir put together. So, I mean, we've been talking around this, but let's get right to the point, RJ. And I would love to get because of what you do, why does your unique elixir, deliver a competitive edge? And more importantly, as we answer that, then how do you use it?
So, let's answer the first one. How does my unique elixir develop a competitive edge? Here's the deal. People buy from people, not from screens. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. When I'm hiring somebody to either help me with a thing that I deeply need help with, or if I'm hiring a coach, I gotta trust you first, foremost, and every time. And it doesn't matter what your sales page says, or your webinar page, or any other page you have on the internet. Anybody can fill that with marketing language, and I don't know. It's boring. I want to know you. I want to know how you treat people. I want to know, I want to trust you. The reason my unique elixir works is because I don't have the same old traditional plan of get them on a 17 email funnel, whatever, try to sell people something. All my stuff is designed to get you in a seat across from me in a meeting as soon as we possibly can. Because if fish are cut bait, if you and people know way before they talk to me if they like me or not, because they've been, part of my welcome wagon, so to speak, is full of interaction. It's full of exchange and engagement. And darn well if you want to work with me by the time you sit with me. And so that's where the competitive edge comes in, is when people start to trust me because they relate to me, because I share who I am. That's really it. They build that trust that they need to take another step forward. It's not about, well, I used to work at Home Depot. Did you know this?
No, I did not.
I used to work at Home Depot. I was a kitchen designer, and there was a Lowe's across the street. And people would come in, and I would draw them up a kitchen, and then they'd go, okay, I'll be back. And they would go to Lowe's and they would, you know what I mean? And so who did I spend the least of effort on? People who brought in drawings and said, they'd draw me this at Lowe's. Could you draw me this here and give me the price? I'd spend the least effort on those because those aren't people who trust you. Those are people who are tire kicking. And,
Yeah.
you know, they're sweeties. I absolutely love them, but it wasn't going to be a great working relationship anyway. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
So for me, so the hugest part of that is when you talk to somebody, when you look in their eyes, when you hear their story, when you hear their responses to questions, you're beginning that relationship. The only question is, how far do you want to go? There is no question of, well, what's the guy across the street doing? So that's what gives me the competitive edge every time, always. When people can't work with me right away, they say, I'm coming. And I go, I understand. Let's make an appointment for 3 months from now and check in. Because they're coming. They are. It might be 3 months, 6 months, a year, but they're still coming. You want to always, in business, if you can, create what they say is a blue ocean strategy. Blue ocean strategy is when it's you offering that one thing in a unique and personal way, and no one can come in and mess up your ocean. Even though I can't swim, I like to use that analogy.
Okay, another thing I didn't know about you, that you can't swim. I love the Home Depot story for another reason. It's because you were able to really, by creating that design for them, and asking those questions, you're able to pull out what mattered to them and why it was important.
Yeah.
And so that then you were actually, by having that conversation and really diving into the client's perspective, and making it work for them, you're actually creating and building that relationship, that like, know, and trust factor right there. And
Yes.
so you're actually creating that competitive edge in that moment, because they may go over and check out Lowe's, but they're going to say, but RJ really got us. She understood what we needed.
Yes.
And and really, all things being equal, they're gonna save you a couple $100, but at the end of the day, you're gonna go, but if we needed to change something, and now that we've thought about it, who do we want to work with to figure it out?
Yes.
And so, because it's asking questions so that to help me understand, so that you truly, and you can also then, and the other side of that is, you can determine, are they a good fit? you know and and through that conversation, it's a good fit for you as well, because there are sometimes you just sort of know, I'm not going to be able to effectively work with this person. Every other word out of oh, I've tried that, oh, I've done that, it didn't work. I mean, they're
Mm-hmm.
just closed off. And it's like, as you keep, well, tell me more, why didn't it, how did that, and it's like they're all, no, this is the only path, this is what I want, this is how it's going to work. And it's like, whoa, okay. To my way of thinking, you have to have a to a certain extent an open mindset to be able to expand and grow. And that's where, to me, magic happens.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you come in with with that set, it's not a push and pull. It's a, well, I expected this. Well, if you knew exactly how it should all be done, you should hire a VA. You should not hire me, because I am much more expensive. You know what I mean? Like, if you won't let me be the expert in this area, you should definitely hire someone else. But yeah, I mean, well, and there was so much that I learned about sales in that particular job, which I didn't hold for very long. I'm not really employable. I mentioned that, didn't I? But one of the things is that people, I didn't know why, but they just seemed to be attracted to me. They would come back and they would be like, exactly what you said. If I felt like I was going to have a problem, I thought about who I would rather deal with, and it was you.
Yeah.
Uh, and I'm like, wow. Uh, I didn't even know that was a sales position until they told me that I had a quota. I don't think I told you that story either. We're gonna have to. I'm glad we have 4 shows. Lynn is all I have to say. That's all I have to say.
Well, we'll sneak in a little bit more about your Home Depot experience along the way. But also designing kitchens. That's where the family, you know, hangs out a lot. You know, you think about we're coming up. The show, of course, depending on when you listen to it, you know, into the Thanksgiving holiday here in the US. And, you know, everybody, you know, you're hanging around, you know, you're running through, even, you know, the kids are running through to get a snack. I mean, and you're talking with you know, your family members, and it's the kitchen is this really heart, you know, of the home. And so to me, I mean, I know that we're sort of getting around what we were talking about, but once again, it's getting like to the heart of you, and
Yeah.
really diving into those superpowers, and that what's special and what matters to you. About, like, do you want an island so that you can all stand around it, you know, or do you want a different style, and what's your space going to be, so that you can make that, how that's going to really blend and work well. So it's actually a really great story for this episode. My goodness.
Yeah. Well, and you know, I mean, and honestly, whether you cook or whether you don't cook or whether you know, we all eat. And food being such a primal thing, it makes a lot of memories. And so what we need to be centered around as business people is what's going to make a memory for that person.
Oh
What's
my
gonna
goodness.
cause them to go, "Wow, that felt good." You know, it's not about what we do, it's not about what we say, it is about how we make people feel, and what's gonna make a memory for that human, because trust me, our brains are too full of facts. We're getting facts thrown at us from every glowing rectangle we come across every single day, most of them not even really true sometimes. And definitely 99.9% not even viable, not even stuff we need to know or want to know at that time. Our brains are full of facts.
Yeah.
Make people feel something.
Yeah. Wow, we couldn't end on a better note with Maya Angelou there. So I'm gonna say this has been terrific, RJ. Thank you so much for sharing why finding your unique elixir delivers a powerful business edge. And I know that I have learned so much from you over the years, and I truly appreciate your sharing your knowledge with my audience today. And for those of you who've tuned in, all of RJ's information, her contact information, all of her links are in the show notes. And I would highly recommend that you connect with RJ. Check out her stuff. She is amazing. So thank you, RJ. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. My purpose is for you to get more clients. And bottom line, don't make this harder than it has to be. Sales should be a win-win. And on behalf of Petite Queen, I've carved out a limited number of time slots to invite you to hop on and ignite your sales call with me to see what's working, not working, and what you would love to have working. I'm going to see how I might further support you in effectively generating more leads, converting more sales, and fulfilling on your promise as a brand and organization. And I think RJ will agree with me. The fastest way to success is to assure people know that they matter. And the best way to make this happen is to build a consistent sales strategy to acquire, convert, and capitalize on every lead. And when you do, you will find growing your business is easy and lucrative. Today, RJ and I explored why finding your unique elixir delivers a powerful business edge. The key is for you to implement these steps to stop wasting your time, energy, and resources. Now, the link to connect with me is ptq.link/win-win. The links for RJ are in all the show notes. And to learn more about me and Petite to Queen and our consulting services, you can visit our website at petitetoqueen.com. And you can also connect with me there, and to stay current on all of our insightful advice, our breakthrough advantages, and never miss an episode of Get More Clients, sign up for our weekly Wisdoms newsletter at Petite to Queen. Now, next week, I promised you 4 episodes. Episode 2 with RJ on Get More Clients. We're going to be discussing how to easily message in your unique voice to attract clients. So we've set you up for this, and make sure you don't miss a single episode by subscribing to Get More Clients wherever you get your podcasts. And if you love the show and you love what we're doing, please leave us a 5-star review. We'd very much appreciate it. RJ and I will see you next week on Get More Clients. Thank you, RJ.
Thanks for having me.